Before Abe Lincoln was president of the US of A, or delivering the Gettysburg Address, or guiding the country through the Civil War, and helping put an end to slavery, and even before slaying vampires, Abe found himself in the wrong place, wrong time, in a mystical land called Skyrim. That's where our adventure starts. Honest Abe finds himself in the wrong place at the wrong time, being arrested for simply being around a group of people known as the Stormcloaks. Little did he know the Stormcloaks would pose a big threat to the law of the land, culminating in an impending civil war. Abe's fate looked sealed as he was next in line for execution, only to be saved by a dragon and its powerful voice. Fleeing to safety, Abe would eventually reunite with Hadvar, the Imperial Guard, and follow him to safety. Realizing he would need help, he set Abe free to take up arms. Before he used his voice to fight enemies, he used swords and axes. It didn't take long to get into the swing of things as Abe brutally extinguished the rebel scum, blow by blow. They had almost escaped when Hadvar noticed a bear up ahead. They could sneak by it or kill it. Abe tried to use Hadvar's blood to give off the scent and use him as bait, but apparently it was a magic bear. By the time they approached, the bear had disappeared. They didn't wait for it to come back and made the escape. After the escape, Hadvar told Abe to speak to Alvor in Riverwood. Abe told Alvor all about the dragon attack and how we helped Hadvar escape. He agreed to give us supplies to aid the trip to Whiterun. Before Abe could leave, a strange figure informed Abe of a group named Dawnguard that was looking for members to help hunt vampires. As interesting as this was, it would have to wait. The fate of the country was at stake. Nearing Whiterun, Abe ran into a group fighting a giant and decided to help. Abe's axe skills were a little wild, and he managed to hit one of the warriors, causing a fight to break loose. Unfortunately for Farkas, Mama ain't raised no bitch, and he bent the knee before Abe. Abe had to persuade a guard to let him into Whiterun, seeing as it's on lockdown due to a dragon sighting. Abe approached the Jarl to inform him of the dragon from Helgen. Since he had first-hand knowledge of the dragon, he enlisted Abe to help fight back by finding a dragon stone for Farengar. Not a lot was said about the stone, except that we were to retrieve it from Bleak Falls Barrow. Abe went to the local blacksmith for new equipment, but unfortunately he was broke. Abe managed to borrow some armor from the local shops before hearing of a secret hidden treasure in town. You just had to travel through platform 9 3/4 to get there. Abe felt himself slipping through the ground to a secret area. Following his intuition, it led him to a chest just below Erland Greybush. This was a jackpot. All the equipment he needed, along with gold and many materials he could sell as well. He re-emerged to the surface and sold Erland back his own supply. Unbeknownst to him, with all that down, Abe had everything he needed to take on the dangers of Bleak Falls Barrow.
Now ain't this a surprise?
After making his way past the many bandits and undead that guarded the cave, he heard a voice calling out for help. It was then that the legend of Abe versus giant frostbite spider from hell was born. After a long battle, the spider was no more. Abe had slayed the giant creature and rescued Arvel, the Swift, who spoke of unforeseen treasure if he would be cut loose from the spider's web. Arvel took Abe for a fool and tried to keep the treasure for himself, but was met with the other end of Abe's axe. Arvel was carrying a golden claw. His journal says it's a key to the Bleak Falls. Abe managed to use the symbols from the claw to open the final door to the main chamber of Bleak Falls. Abe approached a platform with a massive word stone wielding a dragon's head icon, and felt the words from the stone drawing to him. A steady wind flowed through him as he was able to recognize and understand this foreign language. There wasn't time to focus on what had just happened, as a tomb flew open as the Dragar Lord rose to meet Abe head-on. It posed a much tougher threat than those before it, but in the end, it kneeled before him just like the others. Abe decided to return the gold claw to its owner before heading back to Whiterun. The owner and his sister were just arguing about said golden claw when Abe strolled in to show that he had saved them a lot of trouble and already retrieved it. He was rewarded with 600 coins for his help, but Abe decided he kinda liked the claw and took it back anyways. Abe returned the stone, then was promptly sent to the western watchtower to look for a reported dragon sighting. The tower was destroyed, and a lone surviving guard said the dragon was still around. His roar sent chills through the region as it swooped in. Abe, not fearing the beast, engaged the dragon head-on, and even after being lit on fire, mounted the great beast and drove his axe through its skull. It was what happened after that would shock him. He could feel the dragon's soul flow through him, almost as if they had become one. The power was immense, and he didn't know what it meant, but he knew it was special. The guards began calling him Dragonborn, almost as if it was some sort of prophecy. Abe returned to Whiterun to inform the Jarl of the dragon's defeat and his status as Dragonborn. Abe was told to seek out the Greybeards to learn more, but he couldn't get the conflict with the Imperials and Stormcloaks off his mind. The Jarl had appointed Abe with an assistant named Lydia to aid in his adventure. Little did Abe know, this adventure was only beginning.